Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Sylvaneth in Warhammer Age of Sigmar using the faction Spearhead box set as a starting point. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest of the Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. The first hero in this box set is a Branch Witch. This hero is a wizard level 1, meaning it can cast a spell in your hero phase and also cast or dispel one spell in your opponent's hero phase. It has the ability Fury of the Forest, where once per turn for your army, what that means is regardless of how many of these models you have, you can only use this ability once for your whole army. During the enemy combat phase it's used, if this unit's within 6 inch of a friendly Awakened Wildwoods, you pick a Sylvaneth unit, hold within 12 inch of this unit to be the target, and you can get strikes first. So a cool way to sort of get a nice counter attack. It has its own shooting attack as well, which has crit auto wound and a little decent enough close combat profile. Next, we have the Kurnoth Hunters, and we've gone for choosing Kurnoth Hunters with Kurnoth Sires. The 5 health 4+ save models here I think are really nice, and the Kurnoth Sires themselves are damage 3 with Rend 1 and anti-charge +1 Rend, so this could be a nice combo to stick near an Awakened Wildwood and get that always strikes first, along with the benefit here as well of being charged and getting that anti-charge bonus. Their ability, Envoys of the Everqueen, means while the unit's contesting an objective, friendly Sylvaneth contesting the same objective have Ward 6+. Contesting means you don't actually have to control it, they just have to be on it, and they would get this ward themselves for doing so. While Tanglethorn Thicket is used in any combat phase and you pick an enemy unit that charges this turn, it is within combat range of this unit and they potentially have some mortal damage dealt to them. Tree Reverends are next, and these models have one big ability, which is Waypiper's Dance. Once per turn for your army, one of these units can use this if it's not in combat. You remove it from the battlefield and simply set them up 9 inch away from all other enemy units. This gives you some really good movement. A unit that can always go snatch objectives if your opponent leaves them unguarded on the table is always useful. And they can also set up for things like completing battle tactics in turns after the one you're using, because normally battle tactics can't be completed by a unit redeploying on the table in the turn they're doing it, at least. Now they have Musician and Standard Bearer in their unit as well, where Musician will allow them to get some extra rally and Standard Bearer will give them a little bit of extra objective control, really helpful for that thing where they can just go snatch some objectives off your opponent. Lastly, we have our second hero, the Tree Lord. Now, I do like the Tree Lord. First of all, it's a great kit. It's got 3 different options. You can build a Tree Lord Ancient or Spirit of Dirthy from this kit as well. But I think the Tree Lord does have some really nice uses here. First of all, it is a pretty decent monster with a decent amount of damage 2 and 3 attacks, whether that be at range or in combat, and it even has some crit mortal ability on it as well. Battle damage does mean it lowers its attacks if it cops too many wounds, but Lash and Tangle, the first of its abilities, or once per turn for your army, can be used, and you pick an enemy unit in combat with this. During the combat phase, roll a dice on a 3+, you subtract 1 from wound rolls for that unit. Entangling Grasp as well means if you shoot a unit as well, you can actually stop that unit being able to use run or retreat abilities until the start of your next turn, which I think is another powerful ability for this model. Where to next, and the first unit we're going to look at is a heavy hitting hammer, and that is the Spite Rider Lancers. 5 health each, 4+ save, move 12 with fly, meaning they ignore all vertical distance when moving. They actually have a decent combat profile when they charge with the charge +1 damage, and they're also good against other cavalry options, which generally are going to be the hammers in your opponent's own army with that anti-cavalry +1 damage. What's cool is their mounts as well have charge +1 damage, meaning they go to damage 2 as well when you charge. Forest Fighters does give you an extra bit of coherency range with the unit. While this obviously is made to make the units sort of rank up next to each other, they've got big bug wings that sort of, get in each other's ways. It actually does make them take up a decent amount of board space. The unit can heal 3 at the end of every turn thanks to the Thrumming with Life ability, and Descent of Spite Riders as well means if this unit charges, they roll a dice on a 3+ to get strikes first. Lastly, we have the Gossamer Archers. Now, these are a more frail unit, they're a ranged unit, they're definitely not going to be any of the biggest damage dealers in our force, but they do have that 12-inch move, once again with fly, enabling us to have a fast-moving army. You know, centered around that Tree Lord, Kurnoth Hunters, and Branch, which are going to be like the slow center core. We have 3 fast units moving around the table, completing battle tactics and getting objectives. What's cool is their range with the Gossamer bows allows them to affect the battle as well as moving around and doing all those other things, something the other units we have can't really do. And shooting combat with crit auto wound is really nice as well with those Gossamer bows. Now, they have a coherency range of 2 as well, thanks to Forest Fighters, and Zephyr Spikes as well means if this unit used the shoot ability during any shooting phase, this unit can move D6, though it can't move into combat. So you can go in, get the range you need, which is your 12-inch, and then move a D6 away, essentially a free redeploy in your turn. And so our army today, we are going to play Outcast because we have a decent mix of different Sylvaneth units. This just takes a broad spectrum and allows all of your Sylvaneth units to make enemy units near them subtract 3 from their control scores. And so our first regiment is going to be led by our Branch, which this model's taken our heroic trait, which is going to be Spellsinger, while this model's in combat range of a Wildwood, it's going to actually get +1 to its casting rolls. Now for units inside this model's regiment, we then have our Kurnoth Hunters with Kurnoth Size, Tree Revenants, and our Gossamer Archers. Meanwhile, our second regiment will be led by our Tree Lord, who is going to be our army's general, and has also taken the artifact of power, the Crown of Fell Bowers. What this does is you pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit, roll a dice on a 3+, you add 1 to wound rolls for any Sylvaneth unit attacking that unit. Now, if we go into units here, we just have our single one, the unit of Spite Rider Lancers. We hope this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar content.